the meat supplier under investigation after this lethal outbreak has stopped production. It's thought that produce from here was used in pre-packed sandwiches, and in the very places they went for care, 3 patients died. Another 3 are seriously ill. Seen under the microscope, this is Listeria, bacteria that can be fatal for those already weak through illness.
If you get Listeria and you've already got a pre-existing medical condition, you can have a very serious illness which can sometimes lead to death.
Can you now be sure that these sandwiches didn't end up in retail, in cafes?
We're continuing our investigations to see whether there is any wider distribution.
The 3 patients who died were at hospitals in Aintree and Manchester. The sandwiches were made by the Good Food chain based in Stone, Staffordshire. They have voluntarily suspended production, as has their supplier, North Country Cooked Meats in Salford. Investigators say the meat supplied by North Country tested positive for the strain of Listeria involved in the fatal outbreak. The sandwich firm, which employs 140 staff, says it routinely lab tests its supplies and has a 5-star hygiene rating. The supplier of its meat told us it is fully cooperating with the official investigations. For years, some in the catering trade have warned that giving pre-packed sandwiches to patients with low immunity can carry risk.
Listeria is probably the main danger in terms of chilled foods going to patients with low immune systems, because they're vulnerable for that. And it's really very concerning, really, that some of the hospitals seem to carry on serving them.
The sandwich firm's website talks of how nutritious food is good for patients. Tonight it's emerged that some of the Listeria illness was actually reported in early May, yet only now has it been made public, and there are calls for a far-reaching investigation.
We might need to learn some wider lessons about contracting out some of these sort of services, where there are many chains of accountability in terms of where food sources come from.
Tonight, these firms are closed. The investigation is underway to find out how food, such a very basic component of hospital care, could have brought this tragedy. Chris Choi, News at 10.
The reason why they still serve these sandwiches to people who have low immunity in the hospitals is because the people who are serving it don't actually know that, because they're not doctors themselves, or they don't have that scientific background, so they wouldn't know the effect it would have on people with low immunity, like elderly people, or I think the younger ones as well. So that could also be a cause, obviously the cause is it was tested positive for Listeria, and there's something wrong with the tests that were done beforehand, before the sandwich was sold. But the people who are serving them should also know that they shouldn't serve pre-packed sandwiches to people with low immunity, and that's another problem that they need to sort that out as well. Now I'm worried about buying sandwiches. I know it was in the Manchester area, but even after lab testing and stuff, if people are still dying, then there must be something wrong. I used to work in a lab actually where I processed food for Listeria. Didn't actually do the testing, but I processed them so that they can be tested. There might have been something that went wrong in that stage or the testing stage, but I don't know. Now I feel like I shouldn't buy any more sandwiches anymore because of this. Hopefully they'll get it sorted out.